Well, I started probably in the early 70s. My first original band was called Balloon, and we were able to get airplay quite extensively around New England. It got us to a point where Atlantic Records was interested in us, and Ahmet Ertegun was interested in us. But that got kind of short lived because I got an opportunity to sing with Joe Perry in the Joe Perry Project. Worked with Joe in 1980 and 1981. Toured with just everybody. So after a year of that, I started writing with David Hull, and that became Fahrenheit, and we ended up going to Warner Brothers, which was a sister label, and Fahrenheit made a record in '86, and we toured with Boston. We did that third stage tour with Boston, 95 sold out nights. But we played at the Cotton Bowl, which was, I mean, that by itself is magical, and that was at the Texas Gem. It was Boston was headlining. Aerosmith, Whitesnake, Tesla, Pretty Poison, and Fahrenheit. And it was 85,000 people or something. So that was a trip. That was great. The first breaks didn't come. The first breaks had to be created. And I can remember walking on these streets, going into every venue, every bar room, because I didn't know, saying, I have a band, can we play here? And they'd look at me like, we don't have bands here. And we would get no, 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 no. And we finally got a yes. And it became the biggest thing in the world for us to play at this place. It was a place in Cambridge called The Club. And we developed that room to the point where we could fill that room. I can remember working with my first band, the professional band. We traveled. We would work 49, maybe 48, 49 weeks out of the year. And we would work 5, 6, or 7 nights a week. And we would have to do 5 or 6 sets a night of music. And we would lug our own gear, and we would drive, from Philadelphia to Schenectady, Syracuse to, Augusta, Maine. That was a time of building camaraderie, but also kind of a friendly competition with other bands in town. We were talking earlier about the neighborhoods. And I can remember going to see them, and you go and you watch and you learn. I remember going to see Aerosmith early, and they were 3 or 4 years ahead of us. And I remember seeing Joey Kramer had, this was before people mic'd up drum kits, and Joey Kramer had his own bass guitar amp with a microphone and his kick drum, right? And I remember thinking, man, and I said to my drummer, you gotta get a bass amp for your kick drum. So everybody was watching everybody else, and everybody was trying to learn from everybody else, and those were fun days, back in Boston.